accurate for the time period and the people we're
Don't
portraying.
forget Craig so that Steeson can hear it, Brian.
Oh, I'm recording it with OBS, so like I do with the other games, minus streaming. That way he
That's
can.
why there's
That way he can see the chat.
My bad.
two of him.
All right. So, something I want to know is, just for the sake of you guys having fun, do you want to play with XP or level up based on achievements?
However you want, man.
Uh,
If you want a decider, like, because this one has such defined things for XP, like including outside of combat, I'm fine with doing XP.
okay.
If you'd rather.
It does. I was just kind of nervous that it would get a little too video gamey feeling.
I have not expressly looked over, so I'm not going to be focusing on doing anything in particular.
I haven't read the rules at all, Brian.
Okay. I don't know how well I'll be able to keep track of XP in the heat of DMing. I've never
keep track
tried
of
it.
my own keep XP.
Well,
if you tell us when something happens,
Could we do something just like
let me give
milestone?
Yeah, we
just
could.
post that thing. Just post that thing in the fucking Kosa Nostra thing. The stuff that we have to do, and we'll keep track of our own XP.
Okay.
Because I think it's important that we test out the system for him.
Yeah, he specifically leaves XP kind of optional, but
yeah, but I feel like it's an RPG, man. Like I feel like if we can, maybe we'll be able to convince him that like having some sort of a set thing like this is maybe a good idea.
All right,
I don't know. We'll see how fun it is.
Yeah, we can try it. If we hate it, we'll switch. It's all in a table, but I'll try to post it in the chat here.
But yeah, Wes, the sheet I made, the only automation is for the stat like modifier bit, just because I personally found the 3-point modifier system to be mildly confusing, so I just made an automated system for that. Everything else is just fill in. But yeah, I started using sheets when I started making my monsters, because I used to make them in just a document. Then I was like, this is a pain in the ass, because there's a whole bunch of little things that I need to remember, and it's way easier to do on a sheet. Like if you ever look at one of my monster sheets, you see one page of it. There are 3.
Oh well, okay. I guess I'm not very familiar with sheets at all. I just like I'm a simple man. I just like the fact I can change, a box.
Yeah, and that's absolutely a wonderful use for him. Basically, sheets are a combination of a document and a calculator.
Okay.
So it has its uses, if you know. Like, even if you do something simple, even if there wasn't the automation, like, you could still just use that as a sheet and type in everything.
Brian, you should set the scene so that we can start role playing.
Okay. Yeah.
The top list and then into jobs, those are all things that give you XP. Heat, rivalry are things that accumulate stars, which turn into potentially other rival families being mad at you or the police being mad at you, depending on who you offend.
Is there a particular family we're supposed to be a part of?
Well, you aren't a part of the family. And you actually don't know who your employers even are. You guys are just street thugs right now.
I really hope that we work for Robert De Niro.
I'm going to say, that Little Polly is a distant relative of this family, and he knows you guys probably through school or jobs or something. I guess it's up to you guys how you know each other, but
Little Polly loves the feel-good experience, and Little Scapino.
So you guys are probably hard up for cash.
Yeah, I definitely am. I have a whopping
$18
I have $5.
Little Polly knows a guy that needs a job done. Yeah, a distant relative that needs a job done, and so I don't think that you guys are even aware that. Maybe you're aware that mobs exist, maybe, but you don't know that you're working for one right now. You just think this is a favor for a dude. So, our scene is going to be set in a bar, and I think the three of you are probably you got there early. You're hanging out. You're waiting for this dude to arrive.
Hey, yo, Paulie, what you says that we was waiting for again?
I don't know if we're supposed to use his name or not, but when you see him, you know it's him. All right, he's a good guy. He's a good fella, if you will. And you know, we distant cousins or something, and I think we can get a little work from him.
Yeah, all right. You know, you gonna buy the beers or what? Because I only got $5. You know, but you think you might buy a round of beers or something?
I mean, I only got $8. Does that
Hey,
does that
that's more
buy?
than me. That's more than me, pal. You know what I'm saying?
This place definitely
I
says
think that you should probably maybe go get us a pitcher of beers or something.
Oh, you boys got it. You know, because I'm a genuinely good host, and I'll go get some beer.
okay.
I appreciate you, Paulie. I appreciate you.
The bartenders. You go up to the
Why do I
bartender.
feel like? Sorry.
He says, he's a big fat man. He's got a apron on, and he leans over the counter and he says, "Hey, what'll it be?"
Hey, can I get a picture of your best beer?
Yeah, sure thing. That'll be $1 straight up.
Hey, that's not bad. I hand him a
70s.
done.
It should be cheaper than that
Oh,
even, but
yeah,
so that's why it's fair.
right.
He
Yeah, I'll give him
Buy a
like a.
fucking gun for $35.
That's true. Okay, I pay for it and bring it back to the table.
Might I just add, Sean? Like God intended. Like God fucking intended. A revolver to be $35.
So, you guys have a few drinks, talk some things up. This pitcher's probably coming down to its last dregs, and the clock chimes probably 5 o'clock, and the door swings open, and a man walks in, and he does not stand out in a crowd facially wise like his appearance wouldn't, but his suit is nice. You know, the fact that he's wearing a suit in a bar looks like he's well-to-do-ish. He comes in and he goes. He looks around and then he sees you, Polly. He comes up and he goes, "Hey, there you are. You arrived
you
early.
doing?
You showed up early. I like that. That shows you're serious about this."
Absolutely, we're the best.
His suit is made of zoot. That's good. That's what shows you're reliable. So, listen, I talked to my employer. He wasn't interested in meeting, and quite frankly, we're supposed to keep this short. But everything that you need is in this envelope. In this envelope, I should say. He hands you a just standard mail size envelope that's like super unassuming. And then he says, just listen. My employer likes to see what people are made of before he takes them on for other jobs. So, you know, can't talk to you too much. What's in the envelope? What's in the envelope is what you got to do, what you got to follow. Just follow the directions as precisely as you can. Hopefully everything goes smoothly, and maybe you'll have a bright future with us. And he slaps you on the shoulder and he says, "Hey, mind if I have a drink?"
Absolutely, please help yourself. And thank you again for this opportunity. We won't let you down.
He nods and he pours himself a glass, and then after he takes a drink, he says, "So this these are your friends you mentioned?"
Jimmy will
Yes,
stand up and he'll put out his hand and he'll say, Jimmy Tulip, good to meet you.
Jimmy Tulip. Yeah, pleasure's mine. You guys been close? You grew up together, or?
Yeah,
you
you know,
know,
we've been friends for a little bit here. I played in this little band called Little Scapino and the Feel Good Experience. Been playing at a couple of bars, getting big, getting a little bit big. Just not blowing up or nothing, but just starting to really have some bit of a following and such like in things like that. But I guess my point is we've been uh, we've been friends for a while.
I hope this side gig won't take away from your dedication to the job. You know, my employer is quite particular about dedication.
Hey, whoa, hey, listen to me, baby. The only thing that I'm going to try and tell you here is just because I finger the bass and I finger some women from time to time, you know what I mean? And he'll finger guns him, and he'll say, I mean, Jimmy Tulip is supposed to be awful. Like it says right in there that he has no charisma, and so anyway, he'll say,
Yeah, he
but if you
fingers
need my loyalty, you got my loyalty. You know what I mean? And he'll finger guns again.
he fingers the bass, he fingers the women, and he fingers the guns. All right. Who's this? Who's this clown over here?
Albert is currently lighting his third cigarette of the since the beer arrived.
You
Um,
the silent type, or?
uh, a bit, yeah. Albert Weston.
Interesting. All right. Well, you know, sometimes silent type is a good quality to have. Yeah. Could use some
Can I get
people.
one of them cigarettes from you or something? Because, I don't normally smoke, but when I do, it's when I drink, you know?
Yeah. 20 years ago, these were good for you. Now they're gonna kill you, but feel free.
All right. Hey.
Hey, what do them doctors know anyway? All them magazines writing up them articles trying to tell you what's good for you, what's not good for you. Tomorrow they're going to tell me that driving a car is dangerous. Listen to these mooks.
Well, actually, you know what, Jimmy? Never mind.
Hey, cousin Polly. Take care. All right.
absolutely.
That was a little Australian.
Yeah, you take care, all right? He slaps you on the shoulder and he makes his way out of he takes one last chug, downs his beer, and makes his way out of the bar. And you're left with your two mates and envelope in your hands.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna open it and see what it says.
It's very simple. It's got a map, a very crude one. It looks like it's hand drawn, and it's got some instructions about. Here's to. It says where you can find a bag, a kind of a duffel bag. In the back of this bar, in fact, it says where you can find that. It says to deliver this to this place on the map. Take their money. And drop it off at a different location on the map. And it gives you instructions for that, and that's all it says.
So move the bag, take the money from the bar.
The
No, hey, oh,
We're
whoa, whoa,
selling,
whoa, whoa.
we're
We're going to
selling the
sell the
bag.
contents of the bag. You know what I mean? We got to take it to
Oh,
the place. We do the thing, bada boom, get the money, go drop off the money, we get our paycheck, we come back and we drink some more beers, huh?
Jimmy, you're being kind of loud with all that. You know, this is a bar. It's a
What you
popular
talking
day.
about?
Jimmy, here, take one of these, and he'll pull a thing of pills out of his pocket and just give you one. It'll help you a
Yeah,
little.
right. What is this? Up and downer, sort of side betweener, something like that?
It's something between. It'll help you relax. This
All
is
right,
Xanax.
fuck it, bottoms up, and he'll pop it and chug down the rest of his beer.
Do either of you have a vehicle?
I
I couldn't buy one with $20.
Well, I'm talking backstory here.
Oh,
Probably.
dude, Jimmy Tulip has a fucking van for the band.
Okay, that
makes
works.
sense. Makes sense.
That definitely works. I mean, I was a doctor at some point. I have a doctorate, so I probably have a car
Okay.
as well. But the van
So just
is
so you know,
shadier.
though, it's a fucking white panel van. Like, just the most suspicious thing in the entire fucking world.
very classy.
This note specifies that you can find the duffel bag under the pile in the alley.
Hey, so we gotta go out to the alley. Don't look suspicious. Just rummage around, and there'll be a duffel bag.
Hey,
Yeah, right.
Jimmy.
Let's
Hey,
do it.
people seen you digging through the trash in the alleyways before. It ain't gonna be no suspicious if you do that.
What you mean by that? You think I'm some sort of a garbage picking type of guy?
Oh no, we just know that you piss people off in bars and they throw your shit in the trash.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I remember this one time we was playing a show at this bar. I think it was the Alamo, I think. And anyway, so we was drinking some beers backstage and started throwing some bottles around, just standard stuff. And then all of a sudden these guys come in here and they tell us that we can't smash beers, so I smashed one over his head. And he was pretty pissed about it, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah, I'm sure that went over well.
Well, you just tell them that you're just gonna smash a beer over their head too if they don't like it.
Oh, I just remembered something very important. The letter specifies that the delivery drop-off is supposed to be at 6:30. No, let's say 7 o'clock. And then the money drop-off is supposed to be at 8 o'clock.
What time is it now?
He arrived at the strike of 5.
Okay.
You're gonna
We have
estimate,
plenty of time, even though we gotta fight through New York traffic.
right? Kind of borderline rush hour, and you're gonna estimate. There's no Google Maps, but I think you got
I mean, people would have actual maps in their cars.
Yeah, dude.
And I feel like if we all live in New York City, we're pretty familiar with most of the streets.
That's true. So you're gonna estimate that if you leave in the next 15 minutes, you'll be just fine. You'll even have a cushion to make it.
All right, Jimmy's gonna go and grab the bag from the trash, and he'll throw the keys to Albert and tell him where the van is parked before he goes and grabs it.
All right. I'll go outside and... Oh, sorry, go.
I was just gonna say, Paulie's gonna keep an eye out for Jimmy.
So Albert goes outside and, like, when he sees the van, he's like, Jesus, man, people are gonna think we're taking their kidneys. All right, go and get in the van. And I pull it around.
So there's probably some instruments in the back, and so like some cymbals kind of crash and clatter, and
Jesus. Jesus, it's a mess in here.
So have I secured the bag, Brian?
You make your way to the back alley, and let's do our first roll of the night. Why don't you roll for investigation with your D10? This is not going to be a hard roll.
All right. Let me look at investigation.
Not a hard roll, but if you fail, you'll delay your time a bit.
Sue. Roll 1d10, and I don't have any.
Oh, I don't know if the bot is invited to this channel. Hold on.
Oh, here, I'll do it in the rolls. That's
Okay.
fine. I got an 8.
Yeah, you
And
just
low is good, so I fucking did bad.
You just made it. Like, it's easy is set 8 to 1, so you beat, I guess.
Okay.
I assume that's how that works in this game. So, yep, it takes you a little bit of time because you gotta dig through some garbage bags, and there's some crates that maybe it was under there. You're not sure what pile he's talking about, but eventually, near the dumpster, you do find an old duffel bag, and you can see the van at the end of the alley. You guys are probably set to go.
All right. Jimmy will jump on in. He'll go like right into the back and leave the passenger seat for Paulie. And he'll immediately start talking.
The bag is kind of gym-sized. It like you could put your clothes in there and stuff. It probably weighs about 10 pounds.
Okay.
So we're gonna absolutely take a look inside this, or what? You know what I mean?
I don't know about that.
What you talking about, Paulie? It's gonna be fine. There's nothing to worry about here.
The letter.
It's fine. All right.
The letter.
Open it.
The letter never mentions anything about whether you're allowed to look in the bag or not.
Well, there you go. The disembodied voice said it. we got nothing to worry about. We're good on a technicality or whatnot.
You know, it looks a little bit open here, and I just kind of pull the zipper just a tiny bit and wink.
Well, I better, fully unzip it so that I can re-zip it properly, and he'll wink back, and then he'll look in the bag.
It's got a lot of brown wrapped not a lot of. It's got a few brown wrapped packages, kind of like cheese shaped block packages. And they're all
think this is some of that Colombian Bam Bam or what?
they're wrapped with paper, and then they're kind of vacuum seal saran wrap typed around that.
Well, I ain't got no saran wrap around here, so I guess we're not going to be able to dip in and have a little bit of fun ski, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Jimmy, how about you have some fun ski in the back and clean up back there a little bit? Your shit's falling all over the place.
What you talking about? It's the feel-good experience.
Make a hard, like, left turn and make something fall on him.
Hey, whoa. Watch how you're driving out here. This is an antique. It's a great old piece of van here.
It's fucking 3 years old.
Well, it's been with the feel-good experience for at least 1.5 of them. And I'm going to tell you what, there's something about just being in this van that just makes me feel creative and ready to go. And I'm just ready to go, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't suppose it has to do with the smell baked into the seats, does it?
Hey, whoa. Just because we spilled a bit of nacho every once in a while, and maybe I wasn't so good about cleaning it up so whatnot, but hey, if you shit on the feel-good mobile, you're shitting on me directly. All right?
It might improve the smell.
Hey, whoa, that was a good one though. That was a solid one. So all right. Maybe check the glove compartment, see if we got one of them air fresheners in there, one of them pine trees or whatnot.
Hey, Paulie, you can do that? I'm got my hands full driving.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll open the glove compartment and see what's in there.
3
Do
used
I find
condoms.
anything? Oh,
I don't know. This is Tulip's van. I don't know what you find.
So there's probably like a half a pack of cigarettes and a bag of weed and some pills and a bunch of guitar picks and some strings for basses and guitars, but definitely no air fresheners.
You know what's a damn shame though? Is you made a reference to the Alamo and it's 3 years away from Ozzy pissing on it.
I was
Sorry.
trying to think of a New York club that would have existed, and the only thing that could come to my mind was CBGB, and I didn't want to go with that, so I made one up instead.
Albert, why don't you roll a perception?
Hey, perception. Where is perception? Okay, so that's -1. That's gonna be a 5 from me.
That's good enough. So, you take a turn onto one of the main streets, and you happen to glance in your rear view mirror, and you notice an officer patrol car behind you.
Jesus, Jimmy, please tell me that the tail lights work.
I mean, at least one of them does.
Oh, you dumb son of a bitch.
Hey, whoa, hey, Albert, there's nothing to worry about here. We ain't got nothing to worry about. Just,
is
show them, your constitutional rights and whatnots.
is this
You ain't dealt with the cops enough, I think. That's saying something.
I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm kind of a tall guy, so when it comes time to run, I don't gotta run faster than the cops. I just gotta run faster than you guys. And Paulie's kind of big if you smell what I'm stepping in.
I'm just
I will
saying.
obey the traffic laws to the best of my ability.
If the piggies come snorting around, is this van papered?
Yeah, man. I own this beast for at least 1.5. Now, if you're asking where the papers are, that's a they're probably in here.
All right.
Paulie, go ahead. Throw that hash at him. Have him hide it and dig around, look for the papers.
Tim, this is important. High or low?
Low.
That's a
Albert lights up another cigarette.
that's a 16. All of your brake lights and everything are working.
Oh, nice.
So
I totally was just giving you a freebie to say that it wasn't.
I let it be up to the fates. So okay. Albert, you're gonna need to roll me a driving roll with your finesse.
Okay.
So,
3.
after Paulie passes me the hash, when I go to hide it, I obviously take one of the joints and light it up, and then hide the rest of it.
This cop follows you for at least 5 or 6 blocks, and you are trying your darndest to obey all the traffic laws, not run any red lights, not run any, come to a full stop at stop signs, and finally, he turns off, and you guys seem to be in the clear, and your destination is probably another 20 minutes away.
Jesus, Jimmy, what'd you do to piss off the cops?
I don't know, but anybody else want to hit this joint or what?
I'm driving.
What about you, Paulie?
This is your friend, Polly. Like, you brought this guy.
I feel like
he jumps out of the car.
He slides open the door and says, "Wild card, bitches."
Tuck
I
and
feel
roll.
like Paulie probably has to warn most people about Jimmy before he introduces him to people. You know what I mean? Like, he's that friend that you like him because you've gotten time to get used to the fact that he's a fucking douchebag.
So, this is where we run into the complexities of DMing and doing this. You rolled a successful driving roll, and I don't think the D100 I did was anything on the list, so it's only for... Okay, so I'm going to just say, Albert, you get 5 XP for the driving.
Okay.
If we're going to play that way. All right. Oh, and you rolled a successful investigation, Tim. Tulip. So 5 XP to you.
Oh shit! So hey, yo, Paulie, you want to hit this joint or what?
Yeah, absolutely. But try to keep your head down. You're a very charismatic guy, and I appreciate it. But we can't attract too much attention. It's not you're not playing a show tonight. Just remember.
Bubby, Bubba, Bubba, baby. For you, anything. And he'll pass him the joint and like motion that he's gonna like lock up his lips and throw away the key.
He's, I give it 10 seconds.
All right,
Oh no, he's just gonna wait to start talking for a really inopportune moment. Don't worry.
So, this is kind of in a back alley garage that you would probably not see on your daily commute. I think, what would be a navigation roll? See anything on there?
Probably something that's either book smarts or street smarts.
Yeah, let's do, I'll let you choose. Let's see, why don't we do it this way? Albert, you roll a street smarts, and then little Polly, if there's a map in the glove compartment or something, you're welcome to take that and do a book smarts for map reading.
I got a
Okay,
4.
and what would I roll for that?
It's always a D10.
Oh, it is okay.
Make sure that you're observing your proficiencies and things on your character sheet. Which I happen to have here.
Yeah, I was just gonna take a look for map reading.
It's going to be book smarts. You have a stat of 0, so just regular D10.
Okay. Oof. 1.
Come on, Brian. No bonus for
That's
having
good.
a nap. No, that's the best. That's
Yeah, that's a crit.
success.
Oh, the low. Okay.
So, you guys, not only does he pinpoint this place on the map, but Albert, you actually have a pretty good feeling for this area, and you guys are able to find this garage in very, very good time. You guys have a solid 10 minutes on your hands to twiddle your thumbs or do whatever you're going to do and make a plan. This thing is, you can see there's a guy outside this garage sitting on a old lawn chair just kind of chilling, and maybe he's listening to tunes with a boombox or some shit. The garage is attached to an old warehouse building, and you guys are just kind of parked on the corner of this alley looking down the alley at them, but he doesn't notice you guys yet because he's just off in his own head.
Okay. Would he be within earshot of me, though?
You guys are still in the van.
Okay. Hey, pull up to that gentleman over there.
All right. And I pull up
Okay.
after lighting another cigarette.
And
I'm gonna roll down the.
as you're coming through the alley, he doesn't really regard you at all. But as you start to slow down, he reaches down and he turns the knob of his boom box, and then he kind of lifts his hat up from when it was like down over his eyes to where he can see clearly, and he starts making his way towards you guys.
I'm gonna roll down the passenger side window.
Okay. He just stares at you, and he kind of gives you a nod gesture, like a tip of his head.
How you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, what's going on?
We got a delivery here, and I just kind of nod my head over to the duffel bag.
Does your van have windows, Polly? No, Tulip.
No, it's a panel van, man.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So,
Okay.
Peter
Oh.
Van. Peter Van.
yeah, you're gonna have to slide open the door or hold the duffel bag up in your window or something like that, probably, because he's not gonna stick his head in the van.
Okay,
Uh.
Jimmy will slide open the door and he'll hold it up and he'll say, "Just give us the money. We'll give you the bag."
Roll a quick perception, Polly.
Okay.
You have a -1, which is good.
I think this is a good idea.
So 1 minus 1.
Oh, wow, beautiful. You are watching this guy, and as soon as as soon as Tulip starts to slide open the van door, you see this guy's hand, his whole arm reach around behind him towards his butt. And then the door latches open, and he can see inside, and then his arm returns back to his side.
Hey, slow down there, fella.
Hmm?
All right.
He's going to approach the opening and say, "Open it."
Hey, all right. Give me a second here, and he'll open up the zipper, but he'll hold it open with both hands and kind of keep it close to his chest, so that way the guy can see inside of it. But it would be hard for him to just snatch the bag, or you know what I mean.
He's going to kind of crane his neck a little bit. Then he kind of steps back and nods. And then he's going to say, "Hang here." And he's going to make his way towards the warehouse. He goes in kind of a side door and disappears for a little while.
Close the door and wait.
Okay.
Hey, Arnold.
Hey, yo, Paulie.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, guys.
Hey, the minute we get that cash, we gotta hightail it out of here. All right, and use a little speed if you need to for the first little while.
Hey, yo, Paulie. I know you don't
All
do too many of the drug deals and nothing like that. But I'm always buying the drugs. Sometimes I'm selling the drugs. No big deal. But what I'm trying to say to you is that's the only time that Jimmy Tulip doesn't talk a whole lot. You know what I mean? Because that's not really a time to be sharing a bunch of stories. As a matter of fact, I got a story about this one time that I brought this guy with me, right? We was going to go and we was going to buy some horse and...
Hey, Jimmy, we're still in the middle of a drug deal.
Oh, right. My bad. I was trying to teach you a lesson about what not to do, Paulie.
Hey, I appreciate it. I do. I'm a man of many trades, many hats. A little bit of drug dealing, moving some whores here and there, numbers game. I'm in it all.
He ain't lying,
look
Jimmy.
good
I've seen his
hats, you know what
fedora
I mean?
collection.
I think he told me they was trilbies, but you know.
Suddenly, the garage door starts sliding
Lost
open,
words.
He prefers the smoother sides.
and it's kind of dim light in there. But you can, Polly, you can make out 3 figures standing inside, and it's all empty.
Hey, I'm gonna pull up a little bit.
I scooch the van.
Okay. They're all just kind of waiting for you. They're like gathered around the perimeter of this garage, standing there.
All right. I'm gonna get out and can I just look around? I don't know. Maybe make a. Would it just be a perception check? Just monitor the environment.
Keep the engine running there, Albert, and I'll get out with the bag.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can make perceptions.
I got a 2.
Good.
I got an 8.
Wesley, you have a -1 to your perception.
I was looking on my sheet and it didn't. Oh, okay. It's on the other side. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe,
All right.
Maybe Sean is left-handed.
No, I just tried to make it look like the sheet that they had,
Oh, so Steeson
and
is
it was
left-handed.
left-oriented. So I thought it was weird, but like I was just like, this is what it is. I'll try and be as faithful as I can to it.
No worries. It's a very useful sheet. I really appreciate it. I just needed to read it better. So, but yeah. So 7.
Okay. This would be a, let's see. Polly, you are looking around, and this looks like a normal back alley. You can't see anyone in the vicinity. Nobody's looking through windows. Nobody's really walking by. In the distance, you can hear cars, so there's people around, just not in this alley. But Tulip, as soon as you guys get out of the van, you see one of the guys in the back in the garage. Like his hands go up from behind, from hanging at his sides. They go out like, what the fuck? Kind of a gesture. And you think that maybe you guys did something they were not expecting.
They wanted us to back in, didn't they?
Yep, probably.
I run over Jimmy and no, I'm kidding.
He's gonna go, hey, yo, Paulie, why don't you get back in the van and we'll pull inside. Hey, yo, Paulie, I can't hear what you're saying.
I think he's having an absent seizure.
I get in the van.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll back into the warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys start backing into this garage, and it's attached to a warehouse that's got some probably other openings on the other side of it that face the main road, but this back alley just has a standard single car garage, so it's not like a huge thing or anything. It's going to be a little cramped with your big old van, but you guys back in. The big door closes, and you're just shrouded in like one light bulb garage light, and these guys start coming around, and so you've got now a guy on the driver's side, a guy on the passenger side, and then a guy behind you. And the guy on the passenger side motions to get the Well, is your window still down?
Yes.
All right. He's gonna look in and go. He's gonna kind of motion to the side sliding door now. Or did you leave that open?
Hey,
Jimmy?
open it, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy will open it.
Okay. And this guy's wearing a gold chain, and he's got swooping hair with long sideburns, and he's got kind of a wife beater tank top, and he goes, "Hey, what the fuck was that, man? Showing our merchandise to the entire world out there? What the fuck?"
I apologize. I misread the room. I need to stretch my legs. So,
Why don't you fucking broadcast to the whole world that we're doing a deal here?
Hey, so here's the thing. My DM kind of described it and made it sound like you was standing in front of the door, so I didn't feel like we could back the guy in there. And so maybe he should fucking back off a little bit, you know?
The DM specifically said we were around the perimeter of the garage. Hey, what?
Well, it didn't feel like that in my head.
I'm gonna have Steeson rewind the tape and show you. No, he motions for the bag.
Pull that shit up, Steeson.
Technically, the opening of the doorway is part of the perimeter.
Fair.
Hey, he's got a point there. See, my mental picture wasn't completely off here. You should cut us a little bit of slack.
He motions towards the duffel bag.
Did you just see the picture?
Yeah.
No. But Jimmy will hand him the bag.
The guy in the back comes forward and he hands him the bag and he starts rifling through it. He unzips it and pulls out some of the packages, and then he's gonna pull out a switchblade and go shh, and dip his finger in there and give it a lick, give it a smell, and then he's gonna look at his probably the one in charge and kind of shake his head. And the gold chain man's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this? What are you trying to sell us? Bullshit?"
We just picked up the bag.
Hey, my man can tell. He's got a nose for these things. I don't know what you're trying to pull here.
If I might point out, this is the wrong accent. I might point out that your friend there, he stuck it on his tongue and kind of sniffed it, but didn't do anything. If that's coke, if you're really trying to test whether it is what it is or it isn't, you should rub it on your gums, not stick it on your tongue.
Yeah, we got a smart guy over here. It's supposed to be heroin, by the way. I don't know how to do drugs.
Then I have
Still,
no
either
idea.
Way, either way, because you want to put it into your capillaries, and you have way more on your gums than you do on your tongue. So if you're trying to test the potency of something, that is how you would do it. Not that I've done a lot of drugs or anything.
I only know this from tertiary information from like watching shit. So
His
Well, as the only guy that's ever been to a drug deal before then,
he gets after your explanation, he gives this guy a look, and the guy just shrugs, and then he snatches the duffel bag, and he's like kind of shoves his partner towards the back of the garage, and he's like, "Get out of here!" And then he's like, "Go get the shit," and the guy goes back, and he gets kind of a very small briefcase, and he brings it in, and he hands it to you, Polly, or Tulip. He hands it to you, Tulip.
I'll open it up real quick and just make sure that it's got money inside.
It's got cash inside.
And then close it up quick. Awesome. He'll lift up a few to make sure there's no newspaper or anything. Close it up as quick as possible.
The guy smiles and says, guys are all right. Maybe we can do some more business in the future. And then the garage door starts to open.
I look forward to that very much. Thank you. You have a good evening.
He nods. And then the garage door is all the way open and light shining in. But the sun is The sun is probably coming to the horizon by now. It's a summer night.
Oh, different. Were you saying like 5 in the
Oh no,
morning?
I said rush hour. It's like dinner time.
Oh, I'm an idiot either way. Never mind.
I should have stated.
And Albert will pull out.
They stand there watching you until you're at the end of the driveway and you making your turn towards one of the main roads, and then the garage door starts to close again, and you guys are left with this briefcase.
So where are we heading to next?
I'm gonna open the letter again and just reference it, just to refresh my memory, and look at the place we're supposed to take it.
You guys probably have. It's about the same distance. You guys have about the same time. It's going to take you to a kind of neighborhood park, and it's directing you to. It's got kind of a landmark statue, and then it's got a garbage can next to it, and it's pretty clear that they want it in the garbage can.
Hey, Arnold, you remember that one park where we put that hit on that one guy by the statue, and got all over my suit.
Well, I remember stitching you up afterwards.
I appreciated that.
You really killed the guy, Paulie?
I mean, it was a collaborative effort.
He
But
said
you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's pretty fucking stone cold.
You should have seen him crying with the stitches, though.
Hey.
Well, I mean, Paulie's always been a bit of a baby, you know what I mean? So how's about it? You want I should roll up another joint or what?
I've had too much already.
No, Paulie. Booby, bubbler, baby. Come on.
How about we wait and we celebrate? After we drop off the money, we go back to the bar, smoke a couple of them.
All right, but we're gonna stop down by that Cuban bodega, and we're gonna pick up some cigars, and we're gonna cut it open, and we're gonna do the rest of this hashish that I got back here. If you know what I'm saying.
All right.
Ain't no need for knowing, Jimmy. You didn't innuendate anything.
What you talking about up there? I don't understand what you're saying. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh, Jimmy.
We did. So in the time that we were there, Wesley did 2 perceptions, 3 perceptions, 2.
I know that much.
2 perceptions. I think it was. So you got 10 XP from that.
Should I keep track of that?
Yeah, you should put it on your character
There's an
sheet.
experience block underneath feats and gear and attire where you can put your experience points.
How much XP do you need to level up in this game?
$1,000.
Holy shit!
Jobs.
There are things that give us a lot more. Passing checks is just the smallest thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
I think the biggest thing gives you 400.
And I got 5.
Did you do anything else, Tim, while you were there?
Nope, just 5.
Okay. All right.
I think I got. Did I pass that driving or the navigating?
Yeah, you did. It was standard street smarts and book smarts, so I'm not sure if that counts as skills because it was just a stat roll. That's something I might
Driving is a skill.
I gave it from driving.
Well, yeah. I got the one from driving. I was talking about the navigation one because me and
Yeah,
Wes
that
both did a
probably doesn't
navigation.
count. It's not explicitly listed, so we should not count it.
That's fair.
Okay, I'm gonna make a note though. I'm gonna ask Steeson about that later.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, like what it should be under, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, pull that shit up, Steeson.
All right. So, you guys, why don't you roll me another street smarts there, Albert?
That's gonna be a 5.
Good enough. You guys get there. Time to spare because everything went smoothly, and you find the park and the monument. It's like I said, it's a relatively famous one for the city, so you know what you're looking for. And sure enough, there's a garbage adjacent to it. But there are a lot of people around. There's kids playing on the playground, and this is near. It's a neighborhood park, so there's houses all around with windows out looking at the park.
Hey Jimmy, do you got anything you can just cover your face with when you get out?
Hey, I have a question. What level of dress is everybody wearing?
I
Jimmy
didn't get
is in
any
a
clue.
fucking. He's in a New York Jets fucking sweatshirt, and he's got on sweatpants.
And your character sheet, I did buy you some leather boots, which add to your armor, and they also let you sheath your boot knife.
Cool.
What are you wearing, Wesley?
My knife is just in my pocket.
What are you wearing, Polly?
I've just got on like a polo shirt and slacks.
Fancy boy.
Yeah, I think if somebody was to be walking around with a briefcase, he'd look the least out of place with it. 'Cause I'm just wearing a t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers, basically.
Hey, I'll take the case. I don't know if many of you football fans walk around with briefcases down here, eh?
But I tell you what, Polly, I can stand by the trash can, smoke me another pack, and maybe it'll block some view, something.
Good idea.
So I'll dig around in my pocket. I'll toss the empty pack in like whatever works as a garbage area in this van.
The van.
Just gonna put it in the fucking console.
Fair.
And he'll pull out another pack, crack it open, and get out of the van. Go lean up against the trash can, start smoking.
Okay.
Now, am I supposed to put the whole briefcase in the trash can, or just the contents?
You're gonna have to make
Like-
that call.
Because I'm trying to think
Hey,
of like
Wes.
the old trash cans.
Think about
Yeah.
like what, like if you were actually doing this in real life. Think about what would be the more obvious for somebody who might be a passerby to come in and take it would be a briefcase or just a pile of money.
If it helps, I will tell you that this garbage can is
Right.
kind of like a Star Wars droid or like a mailbox. It's got a swinging door on front facing flap.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously, I put the whole case in. See, I'm gonna get out of the van casually, and is there some kind of check I could make just to like
Um,
almost like subtlety or
I think you guys,
um
the closest we could probably do is like stealth.
stealth?
It's finesse. You don't have a booster in it.
Okay, just a second. I'll roll if you don't mind.
No, I'm encouraging it.
Would I be able to roll like maybe a deception or something to sort of like
It
I don't think there's like an aiding system, but like
if you can
to do
roll a
something.
if you can roll a good perception, then I will let you be better at blocking his view and stuff from passersby.
Okay. So perception. Well, I'm better at perception than deception, so I'll go with that. Oh
So I got
god,
a
I
9.
rolled fucking. I rolled a 10, which gives me 9. I think.
Okay, what'd you get, Wes?
A 9.
Okay.
Can I take this piss poor result for you, Ryan?
What do you mean? You want to narrate it?
So as they're trying to do this, right? All of a sudden the door slides open because Jimmy sees that there's a bodega nearby. And so as he's crossing the street, he yells out, "Hey, yo, guys! I'm gonna go into this bodega. If you want anything? You guys interested in something?"
And Paulie just bites his thumb. Like, fuck.
Fucking Polly.
Keep it
Jimmy kind
down.
of looks like Iggy Pop in the fucking 70s. So he's got kind of shaggy hair and just looks pretty ridiculous. I'm sure.
Hey, Polly, just take a seat. I'm a handle this.
Albert,
I go over. Yeah.
Albert, why don't you roll a perception before you do this?
That's gonna be a 4.
Once he said this, you start looking around and you see an ugly old brown car parked down the street, and the driver is. You can't make out his eyes because he's got glasses on, but his head is staring right at you guys at the garbage can this whole time, and he's just staring.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Polly, take a seat. I think we're being watched. Might be our guy, might not, but I'm gonna go take care of this. And I head over to fucking Jimmy. It's like, Jimmy, you dumb son of a bitch. We're trying to be stealthy here. You blew our cover. But yeah, if they
My
got a
bad. I
palm
wasn't.
hero, I'll take one.
Right, I got you. No problem. No problem. And
I
he'll
hand him
go
$1.
and walk into the bodega.
Um, so how much time do you think you guys are gonna spend before you finally leave this park?
What time was the drop was supposed to be at 8, right?
Yes, and you got there with
What time
time
is
to
it?
spare. Just like before, you got there with a 10-minute cushion.
Not long then.
I think we waited until exactly 8 to do the drop. Jimmy at like 8:01 walked into the bodega. At like 8:05, when he comes out with everybody's food and a couple of big gulps, is when we probably would pull off.
All right.
Hey, I'm a take like the bag and like is it like one of those big bags like he got us a bunch of shit?
Oh yeah, there's snacks on top of it because Jimmy's stoned out of his mind, so he's very
Hey,
fucking hungry right now
Jimmy,
and a little bit
hey,
drunk. So drunk munchies.
hey, I pile all the snacks on top of Jimmy. Uh, hey, Paulie, give me that briefcase.
Here you go.
I put it in the giant ass paper bag, and I go and I throw it in the trash.
Okay. Nothing happens. It's just in the trash.
It's time to
All
leave.
right, yeah, we leave.
All right. Albert, you still driving?
mean, he's driver now at this point.
Roll me another
Why would we
perception.
change
Apparently.
that?
Perception.
I just need to know who's looking in their mirrors.
6.
Okay. You pull out, and you probably get to the next turn to one of the main streets, and you look in your rear view mirror, and you see this brown car again behind you.
Son of a bitch.
What are we
got
gonna do?
company.
Whatever's
you-
gonna happen is gonna happen. No, just chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out. Maybe you guys just pull off into this alley up here. Pull off, pull off. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I've been in a few fights before, Albert.
Can I see? Is
been
it
told
a
how to
dead end
grab
alley or
symbols.
does it go out into another street?
This is a through alley, but then it kind of
Ladies
opens.
and gentlemen,
The fuck was that?
A thing popped up on my phone. I'm sorry.
It scared me.
Ladies and
Good.
gentlemen,
It's a through alley, but it kind of opens up in the middle for parking and stuff.
I'm gonna pull into it, but I'm gonna leave the engine running.
Okay. Can
Is
you
our,
are you in a position where you can see the openings of this alley and vice versa where they could see you, or are you deep into these parking spots?
No, I'm definitely taking it to where I can peel out if I have to.
Okay, so you'd probably be able to I just need to know if you can see where you came in at,
Yeah,
or if you're trying to
through the
hide.
mirrors.
Okay. Yep. This brown car, it slowly creeps up, and then you can see the driver in his shady glasses. He's on the car phone, and he's looking towards you guys, and he's just kind of parked in this opening. He's not pulling in. He's just parked there for now.
Car from that pretentious son of a bitch. All right.
Come on, let's head to the
Oh,
bar, and
oh.
if he follows us there, we'll deal with it then.
All right. Maybe that's a good idea.
You want me to try and lose him on the way?
I don't think that's necessary. I think
Right.
one of two things is going on here. I think one, they're who we're hoping to get in with, or two, he's gonna probably be pretty good at following us anyway, because he's probably a cop.
Well, you better fucking hide your shit again.
Oh yeah, right. And he'll grab the bag that's literally just sitting out in the middle of the van, and he'll kind of stuff it under, maybe under an amp.
Just stuff it in the fucking air hole in the back. Don't just stick it under things. People move shit.
Hey, whoa! These are tube amps, my man. This is good equipment. We're not talking about no piece of shit sort of solid state. You know what I mean? Like this is. I ain't just gonna shove some sort of debris in there that could possibly infect it or whatever.
Fine, whatever. Just put more shit around it. It's like I'll continue on to the bar.
He'll like put a couple of cords there, but they're rolled up and then zip tied, so like they're not really blocking anything because they're just sort of a ring.
Hey, Jimmy, can I have one of those big gulps?
I got one for you. It's a Dr. Pepper. I hope you like it.
Hey, my boy right here. Oh, you know exactly what I like. Thank you.
Jimmy,
No
tell me you
ice.
got a
I
Coke.
got you, Paulie. No ice. I know you got them sensitive teeth.
Tell me you got a Coke, Jimmy.
Plus, I got a Coke. And he'll start like digging through some of like the guitar cases and stuff.
Not that kind, you dumbass.
Oh no, they only had Pepsi, so I got a Pepsi and I got two Pepsis. I hope the Pepsi will be okay.
Oh yeah, I like Pepsi, all right. I just prefer Coke.
Yeah, me too. And he starts digging through the fucking.
Then why didn't you get Coke? You don't. Ugh. We're
Oh
trying
no,
to
I
put
understood
the
this time.
drugs.
I'm just trying to get a little pick me up. Anybody
We're
else
trying to put
interested in a bump?
hide the fucking drugs, not dig them back out.
Well, don't worry about it. I can't find it anyway. You know what I mean? And it's probably better if we know where it is, so we can, try and keep the cops away from it, right?
Well, if you can't find it, maybe they can't.
That's a fair point. I'll wait till we get to the bar and then I'll look.
This
Yes, because if it's a cop, you fucking dicking around in the back of the van looking for something ain't gonna look funny.
We're the
That's why I
band. We're
told
there
you to
to
clean up
play.
back there.
you guys made a triangle.
We made a triangle.
Yep. You went to the garage for it was about a 45-minute drive. Then you went to the park, and now it's another to complete the triangle. It's another 45 minutes back to the bar, and so you guys get back at what did I say? 8. So it's about
About
9.
9 o'clock.
Yeah,
probably.
9:45, 9:50.
Okay.
You didn't notice the brown car anymore after you pulled it out of the alley and made your way, so here you are at the bar. What do you guys want to do? You guys never heard about how you would get paid or how the job would end. All you know is that little Polly knows a guy to talk to, so you're probably assuming that you'd have to just wait for them to contact you or reach out to this guy to figure out what happens next.
Yeah, I assume someone would contact us. Once they had verified that the stuff had been moved. So
Yeah, Jimmy's gonna go spend his last $5 on beer and
hey, first pitch is on me. Thank you very much for your help tonight, boys.
hey, I appreciate that. Oh shit, I forgot about one part. We should finish this picture and then we should head back out to the van because I picked up one of them cigars when I was at the bodega and
Where did you guys park?
I
Probably
assume in the parking lot of the bar.
Okay. There's some kind of like you go off the road. There's some kind of like pull-in spots, and then there's also the alley out back, and then there's like I'll say there's maybe some parallel parking around the corner. So pull-in spots and parallel parking.
Pull-in spot.
Okay, so you're on the pull-in spot would be like you turn off the main road into their little parking lot, you pull in, and you're kind of on the side of the building. So,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Just probably wherever the van was before, unless that spot was taken.
Makes sense. So you're going out to the van, Tulip?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how drunk you are. I don't know if there's a drink test
I
roll.
think pretty. I mean, I'll roll vigor if you want.
Yeah, I like that.
He's very vigorous.
I am actually pretty vigorous. Jimmy's like a cockroach. He's hard to kill.
I bet you got like 10 hit points.
5 minus 1 is 4.
That'll do it. You are sober enough to realize that there are some dudes at this parking lot just standing around smoking, and they're both wearing sunglasses, and they're kind of clad in
my sunglasses at night.
they're clad in leather, black leather. And they both see you. They're just both kind of stare at you as they smoke, and you go into your van. It's one of those awkward situations where the whole time you're walking, somebody's just staring at you.
he'll kind of give him the old salute, and then he'll go into his van, and he'll go completely inside and close the doors, and he's just gonna wait for a second, and he'll put his brass knuckles on his left hand.
Okay. After a while, you see these guys walk into the bar. And then
He's just gonna roll up his blunt then.
So inside, why don't Weston, Polly, why don't you guys roll me perceptions?
Okay.
Not one. So
That's good.
0.
Something.
Um,
Go ahead, Polly.
let's see. So 8.
Okay. Polly, you don't notice anything. But Weston, you spot these guys open the door and walk in, and something feels off to you, probably because you're already paranoid. And you see them walk to the bar window, and they're staring out at the van as they're just chilling there. And then one of them looks at you guys as he's just kind of looking around the bar, and then he spots you guys, and both of them leave their glasses on. Their sunglasses are on indoors.
These guys must be really cool. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go over to him.
You can approach him? Okay.
Yeah. So, hey, you know that you're gonna strain your eyes, wearing those indoors, dim lighting. It ain't real healthy for you.
One of them looks at you, and he kind of looks down over the top of his glasses, and he goes, "He's with the guy in the van."
I don't know who's in the van.
I think you know. He's gonna say, "Hey, we just came to let you know you guys did well. We've put your payment in the same spot where the original bag was. So it's all yours. Good work, boys."
Well, thank you.
And do I see this or hear it?
No, you are. Not only did you not perceive them, but this bar is loud. You probably saw Weston walk over there, but there's no way that you can hear him from across the room with the music playing and everything.
Okay.
I know it might be counterproductive, but I'm gonna put a $1 down on the table and get yourself around.
He nods at you.
And I'll head back to Polly and say, you wanna stay here, keep an eye on them. I'm gonna go dig around in the trash.
Sure thing.
I'll go around the back.
Polly, as soon as he goes out the back door, you see these guys immediately make an exit, and they're out of the building. You can't see them anymore.
I'm gonna quickly go to the exit and see if I can look out in the window and see where they're going.
They are making their way around to the alley.
I'm gonna follow them.
Okay. What are you doing, Tulip? Still smoking?
No, he was rolling the blunt, and so he'd probably be going to, once he's finished, find his buddies so we can smoke it together. Like, that was the whole plan. So if he sees Polly is walking around to the back, he'd probably follow.
Yeah, okay. So, Albert.
Yeah.
Roll a perception.
Ooh, that's shitty. That's an 8.
Okay. You get 5 XP for your first one in the bar, but you're gonna miss this one.
Okay.
And didn't you get one? Yeah, you got one, Tulip. You get 5. All right. You walk into the alley, and you start digging through this trash, and for the life of you, you can't find anything. And then, give me just a moment.
Yeah, fucking creases.
Polly, no, it's gotta be this way.
It has to be this way, Polly. You don't understand.
Albert Weston does a 4 hit your TH.
That matches.
Okay. Something clubs you in the back of the head, and you go sprawling into the trash bags, and he does 2 damage.
Ouch. That's a quarter of my health.
And then immediately...
Son of
immediately, so Polly, you followed him around, and you saw this one disappear around the corner, and then the other one was trailing behind him, and you hear kind of a crash of rustling and trash bag sounds. And then you also notice that Tulip is coming up right on your heels.
Okay. All right.
So at this point, we should all probably roll our what was it for fighting? I don't even remember. Moxie.
Moxie.
Okay.
It's gonna be D10
Natural
and your
1 for 0.
D10 and your inverted finesse.
Or wait, we're going higher. Shit, that's only a 2.
Yeah, for this instance, we're going high. We want to get high Moxie.
We want low, Moxie Steeson. You hear us? Low. Keep it the same as everything else.
What was your number?
Rolling that one.
What was your number, Sean?
A 2, ultimately.
Okay, so.
I got a 3.
Jeez, you guys.
This rolling is bullshit, Steeson. I don't the highs, the lows, like a bipolar girlfriend.
Like I can understand how the damage needs to be positive, but I think like sticking with keeping it low on everything else is a good idea. Because like with Moxie, then all you'd have to do is count up from the lowest.
Okay. It's you and 2 guys. They just snuck up behind Weston and clubbed him in the back of the head, and
Wow, this is embarrassing.
that was baddie number 1, so it's Wesley's turn.
I'm gonna draw my 357.
Oh
Oh
shit!
God! Please don't start shooting.
I'm not gonna start shooting. I'm just gonna draw it. What are you doing? I'm gonna yell at him.
Okay. The guy that you were trailing that was, he didn't quite make it around the corner yet, he immediately spins around. I'm going to roll. Are you hiding this gun? Are you in the open? What are you doing?
I'm gonna have it pointing to the ground, but it will be visible.
Okay, we're going to contest here real quick in the heat of the moment. My D10 against your D10, I think you need to do either stealth or deception, whichever you prefer. And I'm going to
Okay, so
deception.
I think he's trying to show it, Brian. Like I don't think
you
that
actively
I
want
don't
him to
think
see
he
it?
cares.
Okay. In that case, I'll just roll it. Yeah, he definitely sees that. He draws his gun, and he points it at you. You can see it. It's your turn. I'm going to let you see him reaching behind his back. What do you want to do?
I'll raise it up to him. I'll say, "Stop right now."
He freezes. and then you see his arms slowly go out towards his sides, like away from his hips.
What are you trying to do here?
Ah, fuck! From the alley.
He's gonna say, he's gonna shout back at you, and he's gonna say, "You thought you could pull one over on us, giving us all them fake bills?"
What do you mean? We just delivered what we found.
Yeah, you didn't.
I mean, we just delivered what they gave us.
You didn't even think to check the fucking briefcase.
Is it my turn yet?
You can talk, or do an action.
Oh, I don't want to talk.
Okay, well,
dope.
so
I would like to tackle him and start brass knuckling his face.
Okay, I'm gonna give Sean an opportunity if he wants to do anything before you do that, since it's order of operations.
That's fair.
Okay. So I got whacked on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Fell into the trash kind of. I want to roll over. I want to pull my knife out of my pocket and like look at who hit me and like point the knife up.
Okay, you can do that. I don't know about things like... It doesn't really talk much about actions or movement, and so... You've got, what, 25? No, you've got 30 movement, I think?
Yeah.
I guess it just eats into that. I don't know. I'll let you do it. He's gonna freeze. Okay. And then, is there anything else you want to do?
If he's frozen, I'm gonna try and get the fuck up, lean up against the wall, like pull myself up, keep the knife pointed at him.
Okay.
The fuck.
Okay. So then immediately, I take it Jimmy Tulip lays into this guy with his knuckles.
Oh fuck yeah!
Roll your attack, and he's focused on Wesley and that fucking gun, so I'm gonna let you have the surprise attack.
What does that mean?
Surprise, let's see. Surprise normally means they skip their turn, but in this case, I think I'll give you advantage.
Alright. So the first one's a 3.
Trying to remember. This is low.
And the second one's a 6. Yeah, low is good.
That's a hit.
Awesome. And then a D4 plus my brawl, which is -2. Or +2 in this case, right?
I think it's plus a negative, so it's -2.
What? Because I have a good brawl though.
You wanna get oh no, you're right. I was thinking of attack. Yeah, damage you want high. My bad.
Oh, I didn't do the roll part. God damn it. I don't know why I don't just get out my dice like I'm near them. That's 3 damage.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming is quite a bit because I only have 8 hit points, so.
Yeah, he starts reeling and he falls backwards, and he's on his back now. So if he was gonna go for his gun, it's gonna be a difficult move for him, and I'm gonna say he uses his turn to crawl backwards to get away from you, and then that takes us to the first guy, who's going to attempt to kick the knife out of Weston's hand. So that's going to be my brawn versus your finesse, I believe.
Okay. That's going to be a 1, not natural.
Mine is a 4. You beat him. Whee! So he goes to kick this thing, and you move it out of the way, and then his foot, he put a lot of energy into it, and so he kind of gets off balance, and he's gonna spend the rest of his very brief turn just trying to catch himself. And we go to Wesley.
Okay. So I have my gun drawn on him. Look, we was just trying to deliver everything. All right. I don't know nothing about the money, who it's actually going to, who it's from.
On low, yeah.
We just the middleman.
But you can turn it off. Sorry.
He's gonna wipe at the blood drizzling down his chin, and he's gonna say, "Not very good middleman. Don't even check the contents of your briefcase. You're gonna be hearing from our boss about this.
Pretty decent.
We've got your numbers. We've got your faces."
Fuck.
Is it my turn?
It's technically Sean's turn.
Oh, okay.
Do I hear all this?
Yes,
what they're
you do.
saying outside the door?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, well, you probably want to be leaving us alone unless you want me to take your faces, and I point the knife at him.
Okay. Do you wanna actually roll an intimidation or anything, or are you just saying that?
Yeah, I'll roll intimidation. God damn it. That's a fucking 9. I rolled a 10.
He's
Oh, wait, no, brawn. No, that's just a 10. That runs off of brawn for some reason. Huh?
That is not a very nice thing to say.
No, it's not.
he is zeroed in on that pistol, so he's not even paying attention to you. What do you want to do, Tim? Tulip.
Jimmy Tulip is going to. He's keeping on the guy that is on the ground, and he is going to drop into a fucking falling Superman punch with his brass knuckles into this guy's face.
Okay.
He is. Well, no, he's of the mind that if these guys are going to keep talking threats, like they just need to eliminate the threat. And so Jimmy Tulip is going to do the hard decision and fucking take care of it.
All right, roll an attack.
Do I get something for the fact that he's prone?
I'll give you another advantage.
Cool, because the first one was a 7, and I doubt that hit. Next one's a 4.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's to hit?
Yeah,
That's a hit.
and that's 5 damage.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Why don't you describe this?
Okay, so like you guys are trying to talk about this situation, and Jimmy basically did a running like just fucking uppercut the first time, and this guy fell onto the ground, and you guys did a little bit more talking, and Jimmy just rushes up past Paulie and leaps up into the air and comes down with his left hand that has the brass knuckles on it just right into the bridge of this guy's nose, and there's this sickening crack as I assume that his eyes and nose and everything just kind of cave into his skull a little bit, and Jimmy will fucking get up and look at the other guy and just kind of like make it very clear that he is fucking next.
As soon as you turn to look at this other guy, all you see is his back as he is hightailing it out of this alley, and we're pretty much out of initiative right now. Is there anything... You have an opportunity to do something, I think, Sean, since you're the closest. I'll wait till she's done.
I think Sean is busy.
Actually,
No,
You're
it's them talking. Sorry.
oh, okay. You're standing there too, Polly, so I don't know if you are intending to use that gun, but that's probably the only way that you'd get this guy without a hot pursuit. But Weston, you can try something if you want. You're closer.
Yeah, I'll take the shot.
Okay, fuck. All right, roll your...
It'd be a D10 and then the damage after that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So 2.
Certainly a hit.
Oh shit. Okay. I should just get my die out, but
This is a D6 plus 1.
4.
You raise your gun and you fire off, and you see this guy's shoulder just explode in fabric or this leather strips and probably a stream of blood, and he's still running, but he looks like he's pretty shaken up. Like he's probably in shock right now. He's not even heading for their car. He's just his target is directed towards just down the road. He looks like he's going to hoof it on foot. Did you want to do anything, Albert?
This guy already ran away from me.
He's on his way out, and Wesley just shot him, and there's this resounding crack in the alleyway. And
okay, I have a question. The way attack is described in the document, it says using any ability, weapon, and/or attack proficiency. So does that mean that like I don't have to use brawn to attack? I could use like finesse or something?
No, I think he means that you can do like if you do any attack or ability or thing like that, you use up your action.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, he's got
like
some.
He's basically saying that like as an attack you can do other things if you'd like.
Actually,
but it still is based off of brawn. Steeson,
Okay.
please clarify.
Yeah. He's
okay,
got some.
then.
He's got some areas in here. Like I'm gonna jump to combat real quick, because in combat there's some different types of combat. Yeah, attack rolls are made using when 1d10 and adding any ability, weapon, or attack proficiency bonuses, or subtracting any ability, weaknesses, so that's just talking about the number modifier, I believe. And then it's just saying whichever applies, I think. And then in close quarters combat, which we probably should have looked at, I forgot about it.
I think that's like essentially like grappling or like shanking each other.
Yeah, that would have been what Tim did, except he really got the jump on that guy, so I don't think it really matters. The guy couldn't defend himself. There's also, I should have told this to Wesley, there's called shots. It's an option where you could try and disarm somebody by shooting him in the hand, or you specifically want to shoot him in the head, and it's harder to do, but...
It is, okay.
That's just for future reference.
Sure.
I interpret this as... It's just saying whichever one applies, that's what you do to the attack. You add it to your D10.
Okay.
I'm going to add that to my questions.
I'm going to, like, I guess as this guy's running away, if I can do that, I'm going to, like, slash at his Achilles tendon.
Ooh. Fuck. Okay. Go for it.
And this is a brawn, correct?
Does it say anything in your
Yes.
knife?
It says 1d4 plus brawn, but that's for damage.
Mm.
It doesn't say anything else.
I think it's brawn.
Okay, so 3.
That's a hit.
All right. D4. I brought one out. There it is. That's only going to be 1 damage, though.
Okay.
I don't think I'm killing him, but he might not be able to run.
So we'll say that happened first, and then Wesley shot him, so he's limp running away. I don't know if you guys want to let this guy go or if you want to take him down.
Oh no, Jimmy is chasing this motherfucker.
This is not a hard chase. This dude is fucked up.
Yeah, you can't stand on a foot that has that tendon cut.
He's not even gonna. Yeah, we'll say he won't even make it to the end of the alley, and you can jump him.
Jimmy is going to punch him a few times in the gut with his brass knuckles and throw him down on the ground and like just beat the fucking shit out of this man.
Shit.
Okay. I'm
Like,
going to.
While he's beating the shit out of him, Albert's gonna light another cigarette and walk over.
I'm gonna call this a coup de grace. So you automatically get your crit. Your damage is doubled.
All right. That's going to be real rough for him. because that +2 to the damage is huge. So that's 6.
You have just pounded another man to pulp.
With the bloody knuckle boxer right there.
Oh man. All right.
Albert's gonna squat down after like in almost one breath draining like half of
Hey,
his
we need
fucking
to get the
cigarette.
fuck out of here. You know, we probably need to get in the van and get the fuck on. You know,
Jimmy, quiet. I got a headache. And I'm gonna put out my cigarette on this dude's forehead and
Jesus.
start heading
Fuck.
towards my car.
You guys have a psychopath on your hands.
He hit him over the back of the head with some.
All right. I believe that a gunshot in the back alley of New York is probably not going to draw as much attention as it should.
right? That's a
Probably
fair
not,
point.
especially not like
Because I hear gunshots.
70s, 80s.
Yeah, I hear gunshots here where I live in my neighborhood, and I just kind of like whatever. So I think that you guys get away clear, and that's probably where we're gonna call our session tonight.
Hey,
Dude, that was so much fun.
that was real fun. Bada bing. Hey.
Do you guys
Can
have?
anybody guess why Albert's not a practicing doctor anymore? No bedside manner.
I mean, if you think about it, most people that would be associated with the mafia, if they're real people, they're at least a little bit psychopathic or at least sociopathic.
Yeah, fair. I'm gonna. Do you
And
guys
so-
do you guys want to state anything about your thoughts on the game or the mechanics before we close this off?
Ultimately, I think there's a lot that needs to be clarified. We've of course asked several questions during the session.
Yep, I have. Do the stats give you XP? Oh, and also it's non-combat stats, by the way. So a lot of the rolls for attack and stuff, you don't get experience for that. But does just a brawn roll, a standard finesse roll, do those things give you stats? And then our next question was, when you're attacking, can you choose what type of stat you want to boost it? Right? Is that right? Is that what your question was?
Basically, it's like, can you choose between brawn and finesse? As I feel those are the best options.
Gotcha.
At least with melee weapons.
He wants a weapon finesse feat.
Well, like it's a 1 point difference for me, but other than that,
Oh, dude,
like,
I mean, 1 point makes a big deal though when you're talking about fucking D10s, you know.
right.
That's 10%.
I'd like to personally reiterate that I think Moxie should be like everything else. Low should be good.
Okay. And that's
Super agreed.
until I showed him his thing, that's actually what he thought. So maybe he had that planned out in his head and it just didn't get changed in the rules. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I think the biggest thing that should probably be looked into though is some sort of a simple advantage disadvantage system or something like that, or a +1 -1 that you can kind of just, as the DM, apply on the fly when, you know, somebody is prone or when blah 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 happen. You know what I mean? Like,
And they're
Like there's mentions of like GM like having power there, but it's kind of vague and not real well touched upon.
yeah, it's possible I missed something in the rules too, but like coup de grace does state if a target's prone, helpless, or within melee distance, then you can do your coup de grace.
oh, dope. So
Oh, yeah, here,
realistically, I
situational
probably would
penalties.
have gotten a coup de grace on the first guy anyway, so it's probably fitting that I killed him.
Yeah. I had a little bit of
Yeah.
uncertainty about when Sean said, "Can I just flip over?" and how that works. Is that like taking an action? Is that like taking a movement and stuff like that? But maybe that's just GM discretion. I don't even
Like,
know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't even-
think that's fine. Like, that stuff is okay because so long as you're an experienced enough GM to kind of keep the throttle measured, you know, when your players are trying to do stuff, and sometimes that way you can expand the strike zone if you need to, or you can shrink it up if you need to. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. To what you were saying, Tim, there is a situational penalties thing in combat where it says situational penalties caused and calculated at GM discretion, i.e., explosion causing difficulty in sight and incurring a penalty to hit. Uh, so like that could certainly be expounded upon to other areas, I think.
And maybe it doesn't need to. Maybe it just will take a little bit of practice running this game to feel
Yeah.
comfortable with how enemies work. Because I mean, we kicked the shit out of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about making it harder, and even I actually originally planned 3 guys, but we were coming at the end of our thing, and I thought, how late do we want this to go? So, and also I
There.
noticed that same thing. I was running a couple play tests, and I did an attack, and I thought, damn, I'm almost dead. I really didn't want to kill you guys in the first session.
Yeah. I do actually like that we don't have a lot of health, and we don't have we don't necessarily deal a lot of damage, but that damage is impactful.
Mm-hmm. It's
Oh,
interesting.
dude.
So
2 hits with brass knuckles should kill you.
Yeah, like 2 good hits, definitely. And like there's an alternate rule I saw for hit points where it doesn't go up as we level up. Like
yeah.
the base hit points will gain a D4 at each level. Sensibly speaking, I actually like the static hit point rule a little bit.
I super like it, and maybe I think that the only thing should get that you should get is if you like raise, because it's vigor that's tied to health, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like if you're leveling up and you're going to raise your vigor, that should be the only way that you get more hit points. And if you need to avoid taking damage, you're going to have to buy armor. Like I like that this game is gritty. You know what I mean? That it forces you to,
Well,
like, Jimmy is a fucking idiot, which is the only reason why he didn't let it go into talking, because it really could have just ended with talking.
mm-hmm. It
Yeah,
is
like
in.
But a character that was smart and cared about their well-being wouldn't go into combat as often. You know what I mean? Like it would be like real life where there wouldn't be a whole lot of actual combat because it's meaningful damage.
Yeah.
and I do feel like among the skills, we have things we need to avoid fights.
That's interesting. Yeah, and D&D is very superhero-y, so it makes sense. You get a ton of health, but this game, some of the things that you get if you level up are a D4 of extra health, which means once you become a mob boss, you're probably going to be like up in the 30s, 40s, 50s of your health points, and nothing like what'd you do? Grow a shell? Like that's why it's interesting because these don't feel like superheroes like D&D does. So it's I would be happy if you guys want to play with that static health that doesn't change.
Yeah, let's do that.
Make it threatening.
Wes, did you have something to say?
No, I thought it was fun. I look forward to playing it again. I'm not a super technical guy, so I really am not one to be asking advice for. But thank you for letting us try this.
Oh, Steeson, one last thing. I definitely think armor should soak damage, only because even if you're wearing a Kevlar vest, if you get shot in it, you're still taking some damage. It's just not going to be the lethal bullet wound.
Oh, I
Just
do
food for
have
thought.
a question about the armor and clothes and stuff, but maybe well, I'll just ask again. So we start out. It talks about like buying. You can buy even the most simple clothes. So does that if you buy it, it must have some sort of armor aspect to it? Is that right? Or yeah.
So, yeah, some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah, like out of my clothes, the only thing that does anything are my shoes. My shoes give me a -1 to sneak. Like,
Yeah, Tim's boosted his armor and his intimidation, but I saw a lot of pairs of clothes that don't have any booster stats at all. They're just clothes. That's all they are.
Right, and I kind of wondered about that. But
Like, why would you spend your money on it?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think the variation there is partially for flavor, but there's also the level of dress thing, which I think has to do with situational, like, no, you can't come in here, you're not dressed well enough. You know, it's
Oh, yeah, definitely for sure. Like I was looking at some of them. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. You'd want to save up to try and dress nice, but it was like $5 for just like a T-shirt or something. Like, well, if it doesn't add anything to me, does it mean that I have to set aside money just for the bare essentials, or?
I thought that about. Let me jump to it real quick. So you have a hammer that's 1d4 of damage plus your brawn. It is concealable and it's $3. Then you have a golf club that's 1d4 plus brawn. It's not concealable and it's $10. And I thought, why would you ever buy that unless it gave you a
Mm-hmm.
more range or something?
oh, I think you'd technically buy the golf club to play golf, but the stats are
I guess that's true. That's interesting. Yeah, it's all just roleplay stuff, I guess. Because
Yeah,
Mm.
man.
that makes sense. All right.
uh
Oh, I was gonna say, experience also gets you. So you get your health boost, which we're going to throw away, but
Or are you gonna level us up?
not yet.
Oh, okay. Then we wouldn't get a health boost.
I'm just telling you what it does.
Uh,
Where'd it go?
I think it's
Health
like
boost
every
each level.
4 levels.
Yeah, health boost each every time you get to a new level, and then at like level 3, level 10, and level 15 or something like that, you get to modify your ability scores. A couple of them, or one of them with two mods, and then you also get at level 5 you get a class boost, so your class levels up to a better version of itself.
Yeah.
And then also you get more respect. So respect, you can either, this is another odd thing he's got to probably work out. Respect means higher ranking family members will talk to you, or you can trade in that respect for a feat such as ambidextrous and such. And so the thing that I'm confused about is, well, I already told him, so I could tell you off camera, but that's something we might encounter later down the road and try to figure out.
oh, how much respect you would trade in for whatever? Or...
Yeah, because as you level up, and you're going to level up your rank, and it would be silly if suddenly you were a mob boss, but you've taken feats every time, so your respect is still down, like only soldiers will talk to you. It doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
I
So
I think the way respect works, this was my understanding of it, is anytime you rank up, you get like 1 respect. And respect is how many tiers above you will talk to you.
right.
Like you can like cash that in almost in a semi, like not in as permanent a way as
so
a
if
feat.
you're a mob boss, you don't have anything to worry about because you're already at the highest tier, and so all of those tiers will talk to you no matter where your respect is actually at.
So
Yeah.
as long as you're bumping up in ranks, you get at least the next one up, right? Which means
Correct.
if you were to be taking your respect instead of your feats, then maybe you get 2 more up above you. So every time you level up, you've got 2 guys above you who are talking to you.
Yeah, so
Or
you might be
3
like
or 4,
a
depending.
All right, that makes
so
sense
you
to
might
me.
be like a capo that could call in a favor and talk to the boss, you know,
Yeah,
sort of situation.
that makes sense to me.
I don't know if that's right number crunch wise. That's just the only other one I could remember.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna close this off. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
that was
guys.
cool, but it's also 1:30, so I'm gonna take off.
All right. I'll see you guys around.
And das
Have a good
vidania.
night.